and we got hit by another snowstorm here in Guelph, Ontario, and it's still snowing. And that box, I always, each morning I keep checking that box over there, and there's like more and more snow. Like before you could read the text at the bottom, now it's all covered. Actually, I use that box to, to test my lenses, calibrate the lenses. Well, I hate sitting at a hotel, and all by myself with no people. So now I'm just going to a coffee shop. But first, it's time to take some vitamins. Since I'm on this B1 for hawk-like eyesight. Okay, I don't need magnesium. I need this potassium. You need potassium for strong heart, and when you're on this high protein diet, it helps with feeling weak, because you lose potassium. And probably grab some vitamin C. I already had my breakfast, had some of this good stuff. Harmonized vegan protein, vanilla, all natural. Yeah, the traffic is moving really slow. Alright, I know what's gonna wait for me outside. Let's go dig out that Ford Mustang. Alright, it's not too bad. Check out this traffic over here. It's pretty cold. I can tell by the sound from under my feet. The snow makes this crashing noise when it's cold. I love these gloves. One cool thing about these lights is that they stay visible even when they're covered with mud and snow, because of that angle split design. I forgot, I better start the car. I know people from Florida are watching this and thinking, geez, you guys are so lucky in Canada over there. We never get this. Yeah, because you choose to live, you know, where nobody else wants to live. No, but kidding aside, look at me. Kidding aside, right? When was I? I came here in January 21st. And up until January 18th, no, 17th, I was in the south, right? Enjoying not so warm weather, but it was definitely better than this. I love this sound. Anyway, let's go for a drive in a rear-wheel drive car. I know you guys love to watch this and laugh at me, but I don't know what's the big deal is. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's why we have so many accidents, because people don't know how to drive. It's warmed up, but the windshield keeps freezing. I cleaned up the washers, the wipers, but it's minus 10 Celsius, right? So which is 32 minus 18, what is it, 14. So 14F right now. Pretty cold. And so yeah, the windshield, you see, keeps freezing over here. But actually, one thing I wanted to mention, like nice design I like in this Ford, is that they have these, like I didn't have this on the previous Mazda, you know, and over there. So this way, because you always want to move this thing towards the window, right? So that the window, you see now it starts melting. Like I can see water instead of snow, like droplets. And this is really, you know, helps over here, because that's the area where your mirror is, right? So it's very thoughtful, you know, like these little details, they were just to compare, which were totally absent on my Mack truck, right? Like, and the Mack was 146,000 Canadian dollars. This is 25. Anyway, let's go see what we can do in the parking lot over here. Oh, beautiful. See? You just need to know how to drive. That's it, folks. On the snow, it's pretty steady. Once the snow is packed, where it starts, you know, skidding is when it's either fresh snow, or I think you see the road is still not plowed. Oh, it was plowed, but it keeps snowing, right? So we shift in the higher gear. Sorry, folks. As soon as possible, and we try to keep the distance. Look at all these poor students. Yeah, there's a big university over here. I remember I came over here with the University of Guelph, and that's why this is actually such a big difference from Cambridge, where I usually hang out. Over there, it's kind of like a science fiction movie, you know. You only see either retired people or people over a certain age, like 30, 40, you know. There's very few young people, because as soon as they all want to move to Guelph, they want to move to Kitchener, Waterloo, like the two towns on the other side of Cambridge. But they like Guelph because there's so many young people in here, there's so many students, so it's a nice town to hang out at, you know. And of course I'm driving, and because of the trucker's habit, I'm watching the pedestrian crossing light, right? Like if it's still white, see, it starts blinking now. Because it's so slippery. But it doesn't want to turn red. Okay. We'll keep going. But you know, this is a local road. You just have to be careful. You know, avoid lampposts at all costs. You know, usual precautions. But on the freeway by now you would have a bunch of snow plows, you know. I like these, you know, when they tell you how many seconds are left. And now I'm driving in gear 4 at 42 kilometers per hour, 26 miles per hour, because the higher gear creates much less momentum at the wheels, so you're less prone to skid. So it's all fun, you know? Oh, I like this. When there's no people, that means that, well, it means two things. One is that I can get stuck over there. But second, the good thing is that means that there's no people inside the Starbucks. The guy is looking at me over there. Some kid thinking, oh boy, when I grow up I want to have a car like this. And a tip I learned actually from the World War II books is that if everything else fails, you drive backwards, you know. Because I honestly, yeah, I don't want to park there because I'm positive there are gonna be some snow plows coming later. But one trick, let me take this off. One trick I learned from those books is that in World War II there was a story, like a documented fact, where guys were, you know, using these 5-ton trucks, I think probably GM trucks, and they were trying to there was a big hill and it was all covered in mud. And of course the trucks, you know, back then nobody had the all-wheel drive. They all were rear-wheel drive, and they had lots of weight because they were carrying munitions, you know, for the cannons and stuff like that, and you know, cartridges for the guys, you know. But they could not climb that hill. They tried many times, and going forward they were skidding and sliding on all over the place. And so what they did, finally one guy had an idea. They went back down the hill, they turned around, and they started backing up the hill, you know. And it always works better when the drive wheels are in the front, actually, right? Like, that's why front wheel drive cars now, they probably don't even feel the snow, you know. But with this kind of vehicle, you gotta have a little bit of, you know, smarts about it. But that's the last resort. So I always know that if I cannot go forward, I can always pretty much 99.9% of the time I can go backwards with the rear wheel drive car, because it turns into a front wheel drive car, right? So anyway, so this is it. So that's just a quick update from the another crazy weather here in Guelph, Ontario. And like I said, to me it's funny because just like 4 weeks ago I was in Florida, and such a big contrast, you know, in the climate and weather. And that WM truck is back here again, and with the garbage. And one question we can ask ourselves is why we create so much garbage. So I'm gonna leave you with that thought. Captain SERGEI out.